So I felt like, even though I was doing my own thing, because I had never really got to experience like the world or what life was really like as a teenager outside of church. So I was doing my thing. I guess you could say I was doing my thing. But even still, I felt like the Lord, I know He still had His hand on my life. He still was calling me, because He would I would just feel so weird in certain environments. Like if I found myself around people smoking weed and doing stuff like that, I would feel weird. I never smoked weed. I never smoked, nothing like that. That wasn't something that the devil tempted me with. But I would be around it, and I would just feel out of place. So I would be around people partying, dancing all crazy, being, grinding on each other and all this stuff, and I would just feel out of place. And I would try to make myself fit in and make myself like it. And my friends who didn't even know me before, that met me when I moved to the Northeast, they would just be like, Donielle, you don't even look right doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to curse, and they were like, no, stop. You don't sound right. And I would try. I rebelled so hard trying to fit in with everybody else, and I just couldn't. It just wouldn't work. I would do it. It would look awkward. It would sound awkward. It just wouldn't work. So the Lord definitely wanted to bring me back to Him, and I started. It was over the summer, right before high school started. I started getting having these dreams. I would have dreams that I was dying, or I died, or I was something crazy. Like one dream I had, I was in a car, and I was back in my old neighborhood in North Philly in a dream, and somebody shot up the car, and I was shot, and I was dying, but I wasn't completely dead. I was dying, and I was kind of slouched over, and I was fading out, and I saw light, and the Lord was like, come back. And then I started repenting. I started saying, Lord, forgive me for all my sins, God. I'm sorry that I forsake you. And, I just started repenting. And then I woke up, and I was like, dang, this dream struck me. Because then the next day, I had a similar dream. This time I was in a car crash, and I was dying, and the Lord said, come back. And I repented again. And the dreams, they seemed so real, and they shook me so much that I didn't go outside. I didn't go outside for either that weekend or maybe even the whole week. I didn't go outside. I stayed in the house because I really believed that I was going to die if I went outside. I felt like something was going to happen and I was going to die, And I declared that I was going to church on that Sunday, that following Sunday. And I went to church and I rededicated my life to the Lord. And, I got right back involved at church, singing on the choir and doing different things and spending time with the Lord, my personal time, getting into the Word, praying, and just seeking God for myself. And right when high school was starting. So, and God knows I needed to be ready for high school because it was kind of crazy, but it was awesome. The Lord, He doesn't let you, basically says nothing can snatch you out of His hand. So if you belong to God, He won't let anything snatch you out of His hand. Nothing can separate you from His love. And I know that scripture now. And I feel like I can see that in my life where God just wouldn't let situations kind of pull me from Him. No matter what I did or how deep I got into whatever stuff, He didn't allow certain things to take control over me, to completely destroy me. So I thank God for that. But got to high school, 9th grade, Kappa, Creative Performing Arts. Love this school. My favorite high school. My only high school, but my favorite school. And a new world. I was raised really in North Philly. I was only used to being around African Americans. Then when I moved to the Northeast, it was a complete culture shock. Got the Kappa, another culture shock. It was very diverse. I found out that I was really aggressive. I didn't know until I got to that high school where I saw people who were actually kind, and I didn't have to be in attack mode with them. So I learned.
I used to be a glass